Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mega Gamecast. We are doing our E3, our pre-E3 prediction kind of thing going on, what we want to see, what we think we're going to see, and maybe some things that probably aren't going to happen, but we can always hope.
We can always hope.
I'm just going to kick it off and give you guys the rundown on when you can catch all of the press conferences. So E3 kind of starts early this year. In fact, it's actually been going on for a couple of weeks, it seems like, with trailers dropping every day. For things like Horizon Zero Dawn got pushed back to February of 2017. Watch Dogs 2 just got announced as officially happening, even though it's been speculated for a while.
Yep.
So the first thing you can catch is the EA press conference at 4 p.m. Now, this is all Eastern time, by the way. 4 p.m. on June 12th. That's their own thing. They're not having a big E3 stage show like they usually do.
Oh, okay.
They're having their own off. It's in their own theater. It's more public-oriented from what I understand. Which is why it's happening technically before E3 proper. Just like Bethesda, which goes on after EA, which is going to be 10 p.m. on June 12th.
So this is all Sunday, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Sunday, June 12th.
Yeah, because, okay, go ahead. Keep
Yeah,
going.
this will be Sunday, June 12th.
Yeah.
And then the first day, I guess technically the first day of E3 is that Monday.
Yeah.
The 13th. Monday
Microsoft's
the 13th.
going on early, I believe.
Yeah, Microsoft always kicks it off, I think.
Yeah.
Early, well, not really that early, but 12:30 Eastern time on the 13th. Then after that, you have Ubisoft, excuse me, Colin. 4 p.m. on the 13th, and then Sony ends that day at 9 p.m. on the 13th.
Sounds pretty similar to last year's schedule, honestly.
Yeah, that's the big day. Usually
Sony always gets to go on last.
Usually I think EA would have been in there.
Yeah.
Or they would have been on the 14th. But now the 14th is kind of empty because Nintendo decided that they're not going to really do anything. They're going to have their Treehouse stream, and they're going to have Zelda running all day.
Well, I heard there's more than Zelda now.
Yeah,
they're adding a couple more. I don't know how many.
Yeah, they are bringing a couple of games. And so we'll see what that actually turns out to be. But I'm actually really excited for Zelda.
No,
to
I
see
know.
what they're doing with that, because
Well, it's been a couple years since we really saw anything new from it.
Yeah.
But what they showed looked beautiful.
Yeah, it looks great, and I hope they justify the open world. Like, they don't just make it some sort of it's an open world, but you're still just going to temples and doing that. They're going to put something in the open world to justify that. Yeah, outside of just having it be a way to get from point A to point B.
Because they've already done that kind of thing.
Yeah, they've kind of been doing that right along. Everyone thinks, "Oh, Zelda open world, this is amazing," and it's like, well,
hasn't it been technically open world?
Kind of been open since for
Skyward
a long time.
Sword or whatever. No.
No. It was even Ocarina of Time kind of had an open world structure to it, and the Wind Waker had a huge open world.
Yeah, dude.
You could sail around everywhere on that. I mean, it's not.
It's not like that mind-blowing.
Yeah, it's really not that mind-blowing, which is why I'm interested to see what they do with it. If is it going to be a little bit more than just what Wind Waker was, which is kind of just like a cool way to get from island to island and unlock the next step of the journey. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I guess another thing that we're all looking forward to is hopefully some sort of announcement about Red Dead Redemption 2.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Legends of the West.
Yeah, well, hopefully it ends up being something like that.
Yeah, because, I don't know, I highly doubt we're going to see the number 2 at the end, because Rockstar usually tries to be a little more creative with their titles.
Except for Grand Theft Auto.
Well, yeah, that's true, I guess. You're right about that.
Yeah,
Max
besides
Payne 3.
that.
Yeah, well, no, I don't know. Well, because technically, and this always gets brought up when they're like, technically, man, it's the third Red Dead game.
Yeah.
So, but you can't call it Red Dead 3 either. So
yeah, that franchise is in a weird spot where it's like, do you include that first one? Is it technically part of the canon?
Yeah,
I mean, from what I understand, Red Dead Redemption was kind of not even related to the first one. It was like its own standalone story.
Yeah.
So it could just be Red Dead and then a subtitle.
Yeah, but see, and a lot of people are just from that leaked map that we saw. If that map is completely legit,
Yeah.
that it's gonna take place before Red Dead Redemption did.
Yeah,
Like, there's gonna be less train tracks, less like a lot more water because I think they're saying your guy can actually swim this time.
Oh, okay.
That was like the biggest issue with John Marston. He couldn't swim.
He couldn't swim.
He was scared of water, but.
John Marston was scared of water, but he was brave enough to get on a boat and fight the bad guys.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
I also heard that there's a possibility of a Red Dead Redemption remaster.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Whether or not what that'll actually be, if it'll be just an up-res or if it'll come to PC.
I know you PC guys have been waiting so long for that. That's the craziest thing to me, that amazing game never came to PC.
It's ridiculous. With the success of Grand Theft Auto 5 on PC,
I know.
I don't think there's any question that they're going to put it on PC. If they do a remaster, or if they do Red Dead Redemption 2, I have to imagine it's just going to all come out on the same day. I don't think they can do what they did with Grand Theft Auto and have technically 3 releases of the same game.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, that was different.
What I hope they do is that if they do make a sequel to Red Dead Redemption, they make a Red Dead Redemption Undead sequel as well. Just so we can hear all the funny commentary that a lot of it was even almost brilliant that we heard in the Red Dead Redemption Undead. Specifically the scene involving Herbert Moon.
Yeah, that was really good DLC.
Yeah, dude, that was one of the best DLCs ever released, I'd say. Because they took that simple formula they had for the main game and translated it into like a zombie apocalypse. But they weren't they didn't make it so grim and serious.
Were just appearing, and to me, Drew, it was just like when like the zombie hype was just appearing, like people were getting into The Walking Dead, and I really think that's what set it off. One of the things that helped set it off. Everyone was really interested in zombies at the time.
Yeah.
Plus, it was a way to bring the character back too. But
I guess what do we really want from a sequel to Red Dead Redemption or a prequel or whatever it's going to be? Do you want just more of the same, or do you want them to kind of do something different?
I want them to expand. Well, I mean, the world was already big as it was, but I'd like to see a bigger world, maybe more indoor areas that you can visit.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't. Keep they had the horse thing down almost perfect. They tweak that a bit. Maybe add some light RPG elements so you can slightly upgrade your character as they go. Maybe some branching choices.
Rockstar seems to be doing that with a little bit of RPG, like leveling up certain aspects of your character.
Yeah, I mean, it was very, basic in GTA 5, but it worked.
Yeah.
And, they went all out for, San Andreas back in the day, almost a little too much.
Yeah.
With the whole gaining weight, eating, and all that stuff, working out. But, you can find a good mix in the middle. But, no, dude, when you actually ask what do we want, a compelling story and atmosphere, still make us feel like we're in the Wild West.
Yeah.
Right. And one of the things I hope they do, and I absolutely agree with everything Drew said, I do hope they make the horses. I found that it wasn't as fluid as I'd like, and I hope that this time they make it a little more fluid, a little more comprehensive. I actually hope they do it in a completely different environment than the first setting took place.
Well, that's what it sounds like they're doing. But.
Because keep in mind, I mean, they based this on the Old West, and the Old West was massive. It wasn't just in Texas; it was in Middle America. It was in California, and I think there's a lot they could do with it. That being said, I think that the time period that took place for the first Red Dead Redemption, it took place near basically the end of the cowboy era.
Yeah, exactly. They could bring us back to the middle of the
I think basically a sequel involving his son Jack would be a little unrealistic. Now, if you did a prequel, let's say even before John Marston was born or when he was younger, I would say that's also equally interesting.
Well, yeah, they could do something with John's story from before if they really wanted. Or, dude, I mean, Rockstar has always been one of those companies really great at creating original characters.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
I think they can make another compelling, protagonist. And, like so I was just saying, Red Dead Redemption took place when the Wild West was kind of dying.
Yeah.
They could really bring it into the middle of when the Wild West was crazy.
Yeah.
So.
So what? Two things that I need in order for it to be a Red Dead Redemption game. One, it has to have the Wild West setting. They can't.
Yeah.
Because there's not enough games that do that.
No, I don't know. Yeah.
And
Right.
I like it. It's different and allows for a different kind of open world. And two, you have to find the treasure maps, and all they can be is pictures, because that was what made so much of that game fun for me, was looking at those treasure maps and figuring out what they were depicting,
Yeah.
and then finding the treasure.
Yeah,
The treasure
because-
was never worth it. It was always just like some gold or something like
Yeah.
that.
Right.
But
This time the treasure's got to be worth it. It's got to
the hunt
definitely
for
be
that
The
worth
hunt
treasure.
for it,
the
though,
hunt
yeah.
for that treasure
Felt real, dude.
was better than any other game that I've played that
What
had that kind of aspect to it.
What I would like to expand, Ryan, is instead they give us more cash or they give us like upgraded weapons.
Yeah,
that
I
you
mean,
can use.
yeah, you could put the carrot on the stick, but it's mostly about finding it, because that a lot of games do something like that. Like they'll
tell you a lot of the
yeah,
time where it is.
it'll be way too easy to find. And I just loved just looking at the picture and being like, is that it right over
Yeah.
there? That kind of looks like the river. That could be the river.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of different parts.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
dude.
Yeah.
And like I love just like I believe Red Dead was one of the first games that really started the whole random encounter thing. You'd just be riding along and suddenly you'd see a guy about to get hung. It's like, oh shit, you can take all these guys out or kill the guy who's getting hung.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden some guy tries to rob your horse. It was one of those first games that brought out like little. Well, I mean GTA, I guess started it before that, but just these little things that would just happen like off the beaten path that you wouldn't expect to happen. And
Yeah.
I love just
Right.
kind of stumbling upon like a gang hideout. Like there wouldn't be anything really, telling you that that's about to happen. Suddenly
Yeah.
you're there, you got all these people on you. It's like, oh shit, you can liberate this gang if you want. But
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't like it's not like an Assassin's Creed where it's a checklist of things to do.
Yeah.
A lot of things you just
Stumble
discovered
upon.
naturally, as a side to your
Yeah,
main
and
quest.
to me, that's like the best way to do an
Yeah,
open
dude.
world.
Because like
Definitely.
Red Dead never had like this map full of populated shit. A lot of the stuff you just found.
Yeah, the way
like-
Assassin's Creed and Far Cry has gone, it's like they keep wanting to make sure you see everything.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
we made this open world, we put all this stuff in it, and here's this list. If you follow it, you're gonna find everything. Whereas with other games like Red Dead Redemption and even Grand Theft Auto and
Yeah.
The Witcher and stuff like that, it's like this stuff's out there.
Yeah.
But maybe you'll come across it, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll find it at the 200-hour mark.
Yeah, exactly.
When somebody will find it at the 2-hour mark or something like that.
Yep.
And, maybe you'll see it, maybe you won't. And, oh well. Good luck if you find it.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of.
Actually, guys, one other thing I hope they do with Red Dead is that I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but did you guys know that a large majority of the cowboys out in the West were actually not white? Many of them were actually either African American, Native American, or Mexican. So I think I would like a little more diversity to accurately depict the West. Even if it doesn't really. I mean, I'm not saying you go out and show the map. Show one of the states. But
Side,
I'm
do you
just-
not recall that a large portion of Red Dead Redemption was in Mexico?
Yes,
and there was
I do.
a lot
Drew,
of
but I'm
Mexican
saying
cowboys all over the place.
Oh yeah, Drew. Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying also if they don't go back to Mexico, I'm saying in the
No, I know,
American portion.
Yeah, no, I guess if you're talking about just Americans, yeah. Well, yeah, there was all different kinds. You're right.
No, but a much larger majority than I think that was depicted. I think they could do a better job of accurately depicting that because a lot of them, even in especially in the United States, were not white. And I just wanted to let you know about. I just wanted to touch on that point briefly.
Yeah, I mean, a realistic representation would be great. So yeah, I think ideally,
Bring back that awesome hunting system too. That's one of the few games where I found hunting a blast to do. I don't know.
Yeah, it was. Yes.
The hunting was cool, and I liked the end of that game. Like
Amazing.
Games don't end well usually. They usually end with you like saying, "Oh, it's over."
Yeah.
Or like some dumb boss fight or something like that. The end of that game was so great.
Yeah. Realistic too.
Yeah,
It was sad. It was sad.
It took risks, which I loved about it.
Like the two endings technically. I mean, there's
there
the
is
ending,
two endings.
There's the ending, and then there's the ending.
Because they actually let you get your redemption, which is even better.
Well, I don't know if I would say redemption than revenge.
Yeah, it was
well,
revenge.
Whatever.
That's what I hope it's gonna be like Red Dead Revenge or Red Dead.
Revenge.
Well, I mean, like the entire game was about John trying to seek redemption from his past, but he could never quite get there.
Yeah.
So.
Well, maybe if they do a prequel, they will show, even if John Marston's just a side character, how evil as hell he really was, or was implied to be, before he tried to go straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So ideally, I don't expect Red Dead Redemption 2 or whatever it's going to be called to come out this year.
No.
But ideally, what they would do is they would announce Red Dead Redemption Remaster.
Yep.
This year, and then Red Dead Redemption 2 or whatever it's going to be called next year.
Yeah, no, that'd be the way to go because I feel, because Red Dead sold really, really well, but not compared to like GTA, and plus it was only on 360 and PS3, so there's so many people I feel like still have yet to experience that masterpiece. Are they going to let us herd cattle again? That's the question.
I don't know.
I think
that was going to be on the back of the box.
Yeah,
cattle herding. Because I don't think if they just announce the remaster, I don't think that's going to satisfy people.
No.
And at the same time, they could just announce the sequel, but I think they do a lot of good to, like, kind of give a little bit of extra here and then the big payoff later on down the road.
I mean, Xbox One guys could always get the backwards compatible thing too. I mean,
that's true. Yeah,
that's one option, but it kind of leaves the PlayStation guys in the dust. So.
Well, no, you got PlayStation now.
Yeah,
you could.
I have yet to test it. I've thought about starting a free trial just to see how well it works.
Just to see how it checks out.
Yeah.
Give us your
run
30-day review or whatever.
Yeah. No, it's only like a week.
That's it.
Maybe it's 30. I'll have to check. But all right. See, we could just talk about Red Dead all
no,
day.
we could do a Red Dead cast, and we probably will if they announce something like that. Because I'd love to go back and revisit that.
Amazing game.
Absolutely.
Man. It still holds up. I played it like last year. That's how it still holds up to me. So
I guess another thing we can touch upon, probably won't spend too much time on it, is this question around the new consoles, new versions of the consoles, and what they're going to be. So a lot of stuff's been leaked, absolutely nothing official.
That's the thing about this whole concept is nothing's been actually said by Sony.
The funny thing is that this is almost how everything happens now.
Yeah.
Everything gets leaked before it gets officially announced. So
a lot of these leaks end up coming true these days. So it's not like it's so far-fetched.
Like, I mean, that No Man's Sky thing ended up coming true.
Yep.
You're seeing promotional posters leaked on the internet before they're announced, like Battlefield 1 and then Watch Dogs. Was it Watch Dogs that just got?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. Anyway, there's the Xbox rumor of the Scorpio coming out in 2017, which is supposed to be like
Scorpio.
5 or 6 times more powerful than what the Xbox One currently is.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
But then there's also the rumor of a slim version coming out later this year.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the rumor that there's going to be the PlayStation Neo coming out soon. That's going to be a more powerful version of the PlayStation 4.
Yep.
So the question is, what's going to get announced here? Is anything going to get announced?
I honestly, like I said, I feel like it might end up... I don't know. Well, if Xbox is just going to come out with just a slim, because I feel like they could benefit from just a redesign as it is, because that big bulky VCR looking thing.
Yeah.
But if they're just going to announce a slim, I think that's a good place for E3. They could even do a cool little like Gears of War themed bundle or something. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, man. Like if you tell everyone in June that PS4 Neo is going to be here in the fall. It's going to be this much more powerful, and it makes you wonder what the price point is going to be for any of these things too. Like
that's true. Well, a slim version would probably be the same price.
Yeah.
As what
well,
we're,
if
what
it's
you're
just
used to, yeah.
for the Xbox side, a slim like that, I could see that working at E3 better than like announcing a whole new like console.
Yeah, a whole new SKU or like a whole new upgrade or something like that. Because
Yeah.
I mean, this is like totally new ground for consoles.
Yeah. Oh
Like,
yeah, we've never seen
this stuff just
yeah.
doesn't happen.
Because they, we haven't even hit a 3-year anniversary yet for these new machines. Well, except for the Wii U, and that's another thing. Supposedly, Nintendo's like working on adding VR back into their NX because they're trying to catch up.
Yeah.
And supposedly the Scorpio is going to support the Oculus.
Yep, I heard that too. So
like we got all this.
And then at the same time, you wonder if it's just like somebody coming up with all this stuff, like oh, you gotta mention VR because that'll get people's attention.
But I just feel like we're definitely going to hear a lot about VR.
Yeah.
But it's just weird. Sony has such a good thing going with the PS4 now. I feel like they could, they could potentially mess things up. And if they know for a fact that this VR can't run well on the base PS4, there's got to be a way they can communicate that with people.
Yeah. And then the question is, when do they announce this? If it is happening, because like if you wait too long, you're gonna have people buying PlayStation 4s or Xbox Ones like a month before you release the new one, and like that's gonna make those people feel like shit.
See, I feel like the casual gamer might not necessarily even notice this kind of thing. Us hardcore guys will, because I don't know, as long as the games play on whatever console, because Microsoft and Sony can both like do some kind of price drop or whatever, and so you have like a $250 whatever just regular Xbox One or PS4 that can lessen the blow. You can get your lower end model or higher end model.
Yeah.
I mean, it still kind of goes into PC territory, but I mean, if there's an incentive, it's like, you can still get the regular PS4. It still plays all the regular games. And then this Neo has like this. See, I don't know. The whole Neo mode thing, though, and how developers are going
to VR, or you can get slightly better frame rates or something like that.
Yeah, but see, how do you communicate that to like casual folk, though?
That's the thing. I don't know.
Do they like casual folk? Like, if you just start talking about frame rates and resolutions to people, are they really going to fully understand?
That's why it's like it's a very confusing thing. It's like in a lot of ways, it would probably be better for them to just be like, the old one's gone.
Yeah.
And now here's the new one, and just like every 2 years, put out a new one. Games for a certain amount of time will work on the old one. They won't be as good, but we'll also stop selling it.
I know, but like, what does that do for like all these millions of people who have that old one? You know what I mean? Like,
they can still play it. They can still play their games.
Yeah.
And they'll have to be supported.
Yeah, no, they'll have to be supported.
They'll have to be supported for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Like 2 years or something like that. Like you have, like, I mean, it keeps getting compared to, like, the phone model.
Yeah, no,
similar to that. Like, apps that they have to work on the old versions of the OS up to a certain point.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they stop.
The difference
having
is,
to support it.
Phones, a lot of the time, you don't have to pay, like, $400 every year or whatever, a couple of years.
Yeah. And that's your choice. If you don't want to, you can wait every 2 years.
No, I see it.
Right.
I see that logic. It just, I have a feeling it's going to be tougher to translate this to.
Like, if you wait for 2 years, like, the first time it comes out, your old consoles are kind of going to be, like, it'll be 2 years removed from, like, the PlayStation Neo.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So then you can buy a PlayStation Neo and always be, like, one step behind.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, it's going to be weird how they do it, man, and, like, because PlayStation 4 finally just got, a couple of its best-looking games they've ever got, like, with Ratchet and Clank and Uncharted. Mm-hmm. So, like, people are seeing these current consoles are still capable of plenty if you put the effort in, but...
Yeah, but then, is that the limit?
Yeah,
has the limit been reached? Is this
maybe
Uncharted
we've reached
4
the
the
limit.
best-looking game that will ever come out on the base PlayStation 4?
Well, honestly, I could argue the Order is actually somewhat better looking, but that's also because it's way more linear than Uncharted is.
The scale is a lot smaller.
Yeah, but like, I know what you're saying. Like, besides The Witcher, really, like, I haven't been that impressed by the open world games this gen yet.
Yeah.
So like, You know, we could probably benefit from more power. And I guess if you really look at it, 3 years, you know, that's more than you normally get with a phone or other devices. So
Sure.
Sure, but
then there's the question of like
But
the
like you
Xbox
said-
is a huge jump, where
Yeah.
the PlayStation Neo isn't really that big of an upgrade.
Mm.
So it's like, where's the value proposition in that, especially if they're priced at like $400, like
exactly.
the consoles originally launched at. I don't know.
Right, but guys, let's also talk about this. We're all talking about hypotheticals right here. So let me ask you this. Say that one of these alleged systems or both were announced at E3. When do you realistically seeing them being released? Do you think Christmas time, because that's one of the biggest shopping days of the year? Do you think it might be a year away? What do you think?
Well, I was talking to, rumor has it that Microsoft's is going to be next year. Except for the slim version.
Yeah,
they
the more
do.
powerful version. The slim version is supposed to be this year,
it's all
which is going to
confusing.
be the same system, same
Yeah.
power, but just in a smaller chassis. And the Neo,
It's
based on the
supposedly
leaked information,
this fall.
should be coming out this fall. Because
But this is all alleged.
yeah, allegedly.
Yeah, alleged.
Because allegedly they're requiring developers to start supporting it.
Yep. They have to put
in the fall.
Neo mode into every.
Yeah.
Now, I guess, see, it's weird because, like, you know, you put a game out on PC and it has to be able to run on all these different SKUs.
Yeah.
So how much difficult could it be running on two different things on a console? But
Well,
I know
I mean-
it's a little more complicated than that with a closed environment
I mean,
like
for
a console.
what all we know is like how it is different on PC. So you just move some sliders around and you get a better performance. But I don't
Like
know if
all-
it's going to be that easy on console.
For all we know, it could just end up being like finally you get like most 80% of your games locked at 60 if you want them, or
Yeah.
you know, better resolution. You can. I don't know if these are going to be like 4K capable or not. That's a little.
And what about, is it going to be an option? So you're going to
Yeah.
say, I want a higher resolution but lower frame rate, or I want higher frame rate
Yeah.
but I don't care about resolution.
See, but like, just think of like the average. Like, do they care? Like, do the average
that's the
consumer
thing, I
really
don't
care?
know.
Like us,
What's
we'd
gonna
be
be the
we'd be
default
interested
option?
in that. You know.
What's going to be the default?
Yeah, exactly.
How is it going to ship? Is it going to ship with frame rate? I guess it all depends on the game.
Yeah.
Like Uncharted plays fine at 30
30,
frames per second
yeah.
because it's not like a super fast paced game.
Yeah.
But like on the other hand, something like when Titanfall 2 comes out,
Yeah, I mean
that's going to be a fast paced game.
Yeah.
You're going to want a higher frame rate if you can get it.
Yeah, I mean, well,
So, I
wasn't
don't
that 60 on X1?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
All I know is that game's much faster than any other
Yeah.
competitive first-person shooters out there. So you want
as
that
much
advantage. Yeah.
No, frame rate's really important, especially for multiplayer.
Yeah.
Like you want to like steady, But yeah, so I don't know, man. Like I was talking to my friend the other night. Like, if they have like a legit trade-in program for your old system for the new one, I feel like that goes a long
A
way.
little bit better, yeah. I mean, GameStop will.
Yeah, GameStop will probably have something. But then again, what are they going to... Well, I don't know.
I don't know what they do with the old stuff. They take
Like
it, they keep taking it, but I don't know what they do with it.
I mean, because it's different than, how many different versions were there of the 360? There was a few.
Yeah.
And the PS3, but all they really did was change the outside and
configuration,
the hard drive space. You had more.
Made them smaller because
Yeah.
you could make them better, smaller chips, more
Yeah,
heat
and
efficient.
granted, like the slim versions of those actually did technically run more efficient. The loading times were better in some
And the other
cases.
thing was like you
but,
get bigger hard drives.
yeah,
So that is technically
Yeah.
an improvement,
but it's not.
It's not.
It's not going to
deal.
change the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Like, I'm very intrigued by the whole thing, but like I said, it's all hypothetical.
Yep.
I just want to finally hear from the actual companies' mouths.
I'm super curious to see how they sell it.
Yeah, dude.
Like
it's gonna be
how do
tough.
they come out there? Because
That's the $1,000,000 question.
Because the
Ryan.
thing is,
Literally.
dude, you're going to be asking people to invest in your VR, which is a good $400, $500, $600, and then so if you want like the all-in-one VR experience, you're gonna want to pay like $1,000 at that point. Now, granted, that's about how much you pay if you want a legit Vive or Oculus experience. But I don't know, man. It's gonna be a hard sell because it seems like people, for the most part, seem to be pretty satisfied with their consoles at the moment. It's not like people are begging for new stuff yet.
It's just funny how, like, because of the rumors, we're now looking for it. Whereas if it hadn't been, like, leaked beforehand, it would have been like a surprise.
Yeah, exactly.
Because now we're like, how are they going to sell this? When are they going to bring it up? When are they going to bring it up? As opposed to, whoa, this is a huge thing where you get like a hot take right away. But then you think about it and you're like, man, maybe that's not such a great idea. Versus now it's like, you're going to sell this to me.
Yeah, now it's like, find a way to sell it to us. So I don't know. It's hard to say if we're actually going to see it at E3, though. I don't know.
I don't know. There's a lot of conventions now.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
What else are we looking forward to at E3?
All right. Well, you said
Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah,
that's
Mass
one.
Effect. That's a big deal that I'm definitely looking forward to.
Now that did get pushed to next year.
I've been seeing things that suggest that it is. I still don't know. Yeah, it did. It officially got pushed.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pushed till 2017.
Yeah. BioWare officially announced that it did get pushed to 2017.
But they should at least finally give us some footage or some kind of something.
I hope we see some gameplay.
Yeah, and I'm sure we're going to see more of Battlefield 1.
Yep.
I'm intrigued by the whole thing. It's in World War I.
Yeah.
It's kind of a big deal that the character on the front cover is an African American. Like some people are saying that's a kind of a risk, but I don't think so. If the game's good, the game's good.
Yeah, I think we're at a point where if the game's good, it doesn't matter who the main character is.
It shouldn't, but there's been I
don't
know if you had
complain,
heard.
But
did you hear about that whole Fable 3 thing or whatever?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. But I won't get into it here.
That was
granted, that was like 6 years ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. And to be honest, I don't. As much as I liked Fable and some of the stuff that Lionhead did, I always thought that they were kind of like a crappy developer. Like they have a positive reputation and everything like that.
Yeah.
They were able to pull out some okay games, but all in all, it just felt like they had no like focus. Like
look how long it took them to from like 3 to Legends, and how Legends just never came out.
Yeah.
So.
So Mass Effect. Mass Effect, I think. I'm very excited for this. I mean, it's kind of somewhat of a known quantity. It's going to be a Mass Effect game. Exactly what the setting is going to be is probably the biggest question mark. I imagine the gameplay will probably be similar to probably Mass Effect 2 and 3. I hope there's a little bit more of Mass Effect 1 with some more loot-driven stuff and a little bit more in the RPG field, but I guess we'll see. What are you looking forward to most about Mass Effect, Si?
Basically, what I loved with the previous Mass Effect, Ryan, is a story-driven RPG, basically. I loved the storyline, specifically with Mass Effect 2 and even 3. I love the character interactions. I love the action. And what I'm hoping for is they continue to do so. Again, we're not going to... It sounds to me, based on what I've read, that we're not going to have the same characters, because I think it takes place at least 100 years after the third one. So I want to see if they can build up upon that. I want to see better because one of the other things what I didn't like about Mass Effect were the vehicles, and I hope they improve the controls and the frequency usage of them, like not as much. And I just hope they incorporate all of the best parts of the previous games, Ryan. And I'm really hoping that they have great, solid characters as they did with the previous ones. I mean, Commander Shepard, depending on who you made him to be, is one of my favorite characters. And I hope this next series of protagonists prove to be just as compelling.
Well, they have a lot to live up to.
What made Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And that's why I'm really giving them high regard because of how well they did in the previous installments.
Yeah.
So that's about EA, right? I mean, besides that, Titanfall.
I am looking forward a little bit to Titanfall too.
Yeah, I mean,
I did enjoy the first one. So we'll see how that turns out.
No, I hope that it going multi-plat won't really affect like the servers and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like hopefully it runs smooth like it did.
Yeah. But hopefully.
So what it was EA,
I guess
then Bethesda.
Okay. I guess sticking with African American protagonists, we can talk a little bit about Mafia 3.
Yeah.
So that seems like
I'm pumped, man.
That seems like it could be one of the bigger games coming out this fall.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Man, like no, I never played the original, but I really did enjoy the second one, and that came out like another again like 6 years ago. So hopefully, I guess the one knock you could give that previous game was they gave you a big world but not a whole lot to do in it. You just followed the missions, and the gameplay, it kind of felt stiff. You could do a little more with it. So hopefully everything feels smooth, solid, and the main character and it has a lot of good story potential, especially the setting and the year it's taking place in. We haven't really
unique setting, unique time period.
I feel like Mafia is like the only other series besides GTA that has that, like, it's supposed to be all realistic, real world setting with real people in it, so I feel like, it could finally kind of give us a good GTA alternative. That's what I'm hoping for. And
cool.
I think it's got a lot of potential.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to keep my eye on it, and hopefully we see some extended gameplay to get an idea of what the game's actually going to play like, and see how it mixes in with the story and everything like that.
Definitely. See,
so I mean, we could talk about Bethesda. We know they're probably going to do.
Did I heard
what's it going to be? What's it called? Dishonored 2 is going to be a big thing
we're
they
gonna
talk
see.
about. And I guess there's like Oblivion and Skyrim remasters.
Supposedly, dude.
I don't know about that, but
your boy Colin seems to think Machine Games is going to be there, and they're going to announce a new Wolfenstein. So.
Oh yeah, okay. I could definitely see it. It's been long enough. For something like that to come around.
And the first one did really well, so
maybe they'll announce a new Quake. No,
actually, that's what he was saying. He was like, Machine Games is either working on a Quake or a new Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
So
we'll see.
And supposedly an Evil Within sequel is getting worked on.
Yep.
So like,
it kind of sounds like they're just some people are just throwing stuff. At, like oh, they could do Evil Within, they could do this, they could do that.
Well, Bethesda, I didn't realize they have a lot of different franchises they can work with now. It's not just the Fallouts and the Skyrims. Like, they got a lot of cool little thing, and they're a good studio overall. So
Cy thinks they're gonna announce some more Fallout DLC.
No, I actually do think that, because again, I believe, based on their history, we're going to be seeing some more DLC content from Bethesda from Bethesda.
Well, I mean, I don't know, they supported Skyrim for a long ass time. They gave it a lot of different things, so I don't know, I could see it.
And I mean, we could get an Elder Scrolls 6 announcement, but I think it's too early for that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I mean. Like,
they tend to like to. Well, no, I guess they announced Fallout 4 at their thing last year. So
and it came out that same year. I don't see that kind of. thing
no, that's
again,
not going to happen.
But I don't know, and I honestly, the whole remaster thing, like, I don't know how well those games would fare in this day and age, especially post Witcher.
I like to go back and revisit Oblivion.
Yeah, no, if they actually updated it and made it,
and stuff like that.
It depends how much. If it's just like a straight port with all the glitches and stuff,
I didn't know that, but that game kind of got a bad rap.
Oblivion?
Yeah, even though that was like one of my favorite Elder Scrolls games. I liked it.
I hear back and forth.
I did like it better than Skyrim. Skyrim, I felt, was definitely, for better or worse, a little bit more dumbed down and streamlined than all the other ones. So I kind of. And then Fallout just kind of went in that even more in that direction. So I'm hoping
that's the one problem about a lot of these companies trying to streamline their games for more audience.
Yeah.
Even Batman Arkham Knight, I noticed they made a lot of things just easier, just so people can pick up and play.
Yeah.
And it's like,
oh well.
But yeah, we'll see, man. Bethesda, you never know. Like, I thought they had a good show last year.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't.
Oh no, they put on a fantastic show.
Like, I still think last year, like, overall, even though Sony's was impressive, like, Bethesda probably had the best all around show last year.
Yeah, I think they knocked it out of the park. That's for sure.
But I'm interested.
I mean, they could announce Doom DLC too, because they haven't really announced any single player DLC.
I would expect Doom DLC to be announced, Ryan. I expect there to be some DLC content from them.
I came very close to buying that again the other day, but I will eventually.
So what do we got? What are we looking forward to next?
No, I'm hoping to see a good cut of the Gears of War not DLC, the Gears of War campaign.
Okay.
Like, I know they showed us a good 5 minutes last time.
Yeah.
10 minutes. see if they give us a good vertical slice and its actual gameplay.
Yep.
Show us a little more about the characters and all that.
Shenmue.
Hell yeah, dude. No, yeah.
Of course.
I hope they finally. Well,
There was a rumor of a remaster of those too, wasn't there?
yeah,
Floating around.
I don't see it. Well, see, they'd have to do a little work to actually make that happen. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, it's because one of them came on the Dreamcast, the other came on OG Xbox, and I don't know what the terms with Sega and the licensing is right now. But yes, I'd like to see a vertical. Like, I just want to see progress, a progress report on that game. I still don't see that coming out for another couple of years if they want to go as big as they used to. But yeah, so hopefully a little Shenmue. Yep. Yeah, I was just trying to give Microsoft a little shine, man, because I still want to see some Sea of Thieves and Scalebound, Recore. Like, there's a lot of potential. Let's see, Sony. Yeah, see, I don't know. Like, I don't believe Last of Us 2 is. I do believe God of War 4 though. It's been a while since the third one, and moving Kratos to another.
Oh, what about Ascension?
Ascension.
See, was it the same? I think a different team worked on that one. I'd have to look that up to make sure, but that was kind of like,
so.
Huh?
I hope so.
That's actually the one God of War game I haven't played. I've played all the others except Ascension. I still want to play it because I heard it's not terrible. It just doesn't live up to the rest.
Yeah.
But Norse mythology is what they're saying. So if you give Kratos a whole new, slew of gods to fight against, hell yeah, man.
Oh, it might not even be Kratos. Could be a new
maybe
protagonist.
Not. I don't know that the art's that
Concept art.
Yeah, that concept art was like Kratos with a big beard going on. But yeah, no, I'd take. It doesn't have to be Kratos. He's just one of those. I mean, they ended Nathan Drake as a character, I guess.
I mean, as a character, Kratos doesn't really.
No, he's just an angry.
Resonate. Yeah, he's just an angry guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you brought up Sea of Thieves. I'm kind of interested in see where that goes and Recore. We haven't seen anything since they did announce the delay, but
they could still show us something.
Yeah, hopefully it's this year because that they didn't announce that it coming out of 2016. They just announced that it wasn't going to come out in early 2016. And yeah, we already got the 2017 release for Horizon, which was another game I was really looking forward to.
Yeah,
seeing.
no, and that trailer was great. That
I imagine we'll see some more gameplay. Or probably see some more about that.
Because it looks like, like you said, it looks like there actually is going to be a pretty deep story.
Yeah.
Along with, and I love seeing developers taking risks, and compared to what Guerrilla Games is known for, and going with a female protagonist and unique setting. Like, I think this has so much potential. It just
so let's go with some crazy wild accusations here.
Accusations.
You mean predictions?
Predictions, yeah. Accusations, predictions, whatever. No, mine's an accusation. I'm accusing Nintendo of purposefully deceiving everybody, and they're going to show the NX in a whole bunch of games.
That'd be hilarious.
And it's gonna be the talk of the E3. That's gonna be the big thing that
you never know,
E3.
man. Nintendo finally
they're lying. Yeah.
We trolled all of you.
Yeah.
We have the most powerful console.
Yeah, and it does everything.
Everything.
Even your laundry.
Yeah. You can put your PS4 games and they work in here, man.
You can put your PlayStation 4 inside of it.
Yeah.
And it.
Fat chance.
What else? What else are we hoping that isn't going to happen, but
isn't going to happen?
We hope.
But might happen.
Sai?
Go ahead, Sai.
I know what you have.
Ryan, this has been a dream of mine ever since it ended. The Last of Us 2. I mean, come on, people. I mean, Ryan, I know you're probably not going to agree with me, but I really want them to continue the story in the world of The Last of Us.
I
want to see possibly them expand more on Joel and Ellie, or I want to see them introduce a slew of new characters based on this unique, beautiful, haunting world. Of a different type of post-apocalyptic America.
Well, judging on how well the game overall sold, like between the remastered and the original version, and how for a new IP especially, The Last of Us is a money pit for them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
so
Oh, absolutely.
they're gonna. But Naughty Dog is talented enough to come up with a new franchise at any point. So I don't know. We'll see what they do.
Oh, that's
And
right. Crash.
Dude, I don't know. I'd be pumped if they like, and even if it wasn't Naughty Dog made, dude, because like, yeah, nostalgia. Yeah, hell yeah. Who knows? Maybe we might get a little Crash in there.
Yeah.
Because if Ratchet and Clank and what else was there recently? It's been proven that.
Well, Ukulele is coming out.
That's
That's another 3D platform.
go.
That got a trailer too. That's coming out in 2017. I thought it was going to be this year, but it's 2017.
Yeah.
Right. And to be honest, guys, I don't think we're going to hear The Last of Us until the next E3.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
Yeah, I mean, see, what I'm thinking is if Microsoft comes out and they knock crap out of the park, like they blow everyone away with their conference. Just you never know. Like they announce Halo 7 and
That's right. There's Left 4 Dead. I mean, not Left 4 Dead. Dead Rising.
Dead Rising
Got rumored today.
Yeah. So if they have a great conference, and maybe Sony will put together some kind of like Last of Us 2 teaser.
I'm ready
just to get people pumped.
for another Dead Rising. Dead Rising 3 was cool.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
I played a little bit of it when my friend had an Xbox. It was alright.
Yeah, it's dumb.
It's goofy fun.
Yeah, it's dumb, but it's fun, and it's been long enough that I'm like, I could go for another one of those.
You know, see, this is why I feel like Ryan's not a big Last of Us guy. He likes like the more silly, like zombie apocalypse stuff.
Yeah.
Not like the, serious and dour stuff you see all the time. And there's nothing wrong with that, dude.
Last of Us is another one of those titles though,
Yeah.
like Final Fantasy, The Last of Us 2. There's more of us this time.
Yeah, like I hope it's not. I mean, even though Uncharted had numbers for all of them,
Yeah.
Last of Us 2 just sounds weak, so
I don't
they
know.
can find
We'll
a
see.
better name.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I can't really think of anything like too off the wall that's gonna happen. Aside, because like I feel like a lot of it might be kind of a letdown. We're gonna see a lot of VR that's probably not gonna get translated well on screen.
Stage, yeah.
Man, but yeah, and actually, I am looking forward to Watch Dogs 2 as well. Like, no Assassin's Creed this year, so Watch Dogs has a chance to shine again.
Yeah, you were a fan of the first one.
Yeah.
More than
most people. Yeah. Well, it
Um,
was because I didn't go in with like these. I didn't see the original trailer when it first launched,
okay.
like everyone else did. So,
Yeah.
like, I didn't have these crazy expectations. So, I took the game for what it was, which was, to me, like a third-person open world game with but you could like hack the whole city.
I'm super interested to see what they do with it.
Yeah.
Because of the reception.
Yeah.
And how they change it, what they don't change, what they keep the same. Because I think, for one thing, they gotta get a new protagonist.
Yeah, that's probably what
everybody hated the protagonist. So yeah, we'll see. It'll be, despite a whole bunch of things getting announced before E3.
There's still quite a bit of questions.
Yeah, there's still some secrets, like the Rockstar thing. Rockstar's got to have something because they can't just be sitting at Grand Theft Auto 5 again for another E3. They gotta have something.
You say that, Ryan, but at the same time, dude, the fact that every month GTA 5 is still in the top 10 bestsellers.
I know.
It's crazy, dude.
I know.
That's like such a crazy game.
I know.
It's a great game, but the way it sells,
Yeah.
you think it's like oh man,
The Second Coming or something like
like-
that. I don't know. I forgot to mention that their
I would
PC
take
gaming is still doing their conference again. They have a
Nice.
dumb PC gaming conference.
Did they actually announce games though?
That is where they first announced that No Man's Sky was also coming to PC day and date. So I am
what? Maybe
somewhat
we'll-
interested in that.
Now that it got delayed, maybe we'll see some No Man's Sky, no?
Yeah, maybe we will. I'm okay with that though. I'm like, I've seen enough No Man's Sky. I just want it to come out.
Yeah.
I don't want too much more information on it because I want to have some surprises.
You're not going to be waiting that long, honestly.
No.
It was only like a month and a half delay, so it wasn't
Yeah.
that bad. Like, hopefully it's the last delay.
Yeah.
But. So,
All
yeah,
right.
man.
Well, I think that's gonna do it.
Yeah, no, we've been talking a while.
Yeah.
It's an exciting
E3
time of year, man.
E3 starting officially on June 13th, but we have 2 press conferences the day before on June 12th. EA kicking it off at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the June 12th. So make sure you tune in because we'll definitely have a follow-up podcast maybe a couple, talking about all of the things that get announced and things that maybe don't get announced.
Yeah.
So
No, we're all gonna be here weeping if Red Dead doesn't get mentioned.
yeah, I
think
know.
that's
We'll just have a big remorse cast.
yeah.
Yeah, where
A
we cry,
rant cast.
where we cry for a half an hour. So yeah, I guess if you're going to E3, have fun.
Yeah, right. We wish we could be there.
Yeah,
We'll get there eventually.
at some point. All right.
All right.
Good
Sounds
times,
good,
boys.
everybody.
Yeah.
Good times.
Thanks, and we'll see you next time.
Later, peeps.